What if I told you that the most dangerous moment of your entire life isn't happening while you're asleep, or even during a stressful day at work, but in the first 60 seconds after you open your eyes? For most seniors, the morning routine is a sacred mechanical sequence. You wake up, you feel that surge of to-do lists in your mind, and you push yourself upright to start the day. But there is a silent biological transition happening inside your cardiovascular system, and for those over the age of 60, this transition is a literal minefield. I know it sounds like clickbait. I know it sounds like one of those extreme health warnings you see on the side of a tabloid, but I'm not talking about a theory. I'm talking about a specific physiological event that cardiologists and neurologists have studied for decades. A phenomenon so consistent that the data shows a staggering 40% increase in heart attacks and a 49% increase in sudden cardiac deaths between the hours of 6 a.m. and noon. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly what that one fatal morning mistake is, why your thick morning blood is a ticking time bomb, and the simple 3-minute safety buffer you need to perform before your feet even touch the floor. So stick with me. This isn't just about wellness, this is about survival. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we dive into the hard science of aging, longevity, and metabolic health. We don't do fluff, we don't do miracle powders, and we certainly don't do scare tactics for the sake of it. We look at the clinical data to find out how you can live a longer, stronger, and more vibrant life after 60. Today, we are tackling a topic that genuinely keeps many physicians up at night because it is so preventable, yet so few seniors are warned about it. Every year, millions of people suffer cardiovascular events. In the United States alone, a heart attack occurs every 40 seconds. But there is a very specific pattern to these events. If you look at a graph of when heart attacks and strokes happen, it isn't a flat line throughout the day. It peaks sharply in the morning. For a long time, we thought it was just the stress of waking up or the exertion of getting dressed. But the science has revealed something much deeper. It has to do with your circadian rhythm, your blood viscosity, and a specific mistake called sudden verticality. Let's walk through the biology of what is happening inside your body while you are lying in bed at 6:30 a.m. During the night, your body is in a state of relative stasis. Your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure drops, and you are, by definition, dehydrated. You haven't consumed water for 7 or 8 hours, yet you have been losing moisture through your breath and your skin. For a senior, this is compounded by the fact that our total body water percentage naturally decreases as we age. By the time the sun comes up, your blood is at its most viscous. It is literally thicker. Scientists often refer to this as blood sludge. At the same time, your internal biological clock is preparing you for the day. About an hour before you wake up, your adrenal glands start pumping out cortisol and adrenaline. These are your alertness hormones, but they are also vasoconstrictors. They make your blood vessels tighter. This is a natural process designed to get you ready to move, but it also creates a high-pressure environment. Your platelets, the cells responsible for clotting, are also at their stickiest in the morning. Evolutionarily, this was great. It protected our ancestors from bleeding out if they were attacked by a predator first thing in the morning. But for a 65-year-old with even a small amount of plaque in their arteries, this sticky, thick blood in a tight, high-pressure vessel is a recipe for a blockage. Now, here is the mistake that turns this biological state into a deadly one. It's what I call the pop-up habit. Most of us have been trained our entire lives to be productive, to get up the moment the alarm goes off. When you move from a horizontal, lying position to a vertical, standing position, in less than 3 seconds, you are forcing your cardiovascular system to perform a high-wire act it isn't ready for. When you stand up suddenly, gravity immediately pulls your blood toward your legs and feet. In a healthy 20-year-old, the body reacts instantly. The baroreceptors, special pressure sensors in your neck and chest, signal the heart to beat faster and the vessels to constrict to keep blood flowing to the brain. But as we age, these sensors become less sensitive. This can lead to a condition called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure. To compensate for this drop, the heart may overreact with a massive surge of adrenaline. This sudden rebound spike in blood pressure can put a mechanical stress on the heart muscle, or, more dangerously, dislodge a small piece of arterial plaque. If that plaque travels to the heart, it's a myocardial infarction. If it travels to the brain, it's an ischemic stroke. Statistics show that for different demographic groups, this morning risk profile varies. For example, research published in the American Journal of Hypertension indicates that African American seniors often experience a more pronounced morning surge in blood pressure compared to other groups. In fact, nearly 54% of Black adults over 60 have hypertension that shows a sharp morning peak, making this sudden verticality error even more dangerous for them. Similarly, for women in the postmenopausal stage, the loss of estrogen, which previously helped keep blood vessels flexible, means that the morning tightening of the arteries is more rigid and less forgiving. This brings us to the competitor habits, the things people do because they think they are helping, but they are actually pouring gasoline on the fire. Many seniors wake up and immediately head to the kitchen for a cup of black coffee or a high-sodium breakfast. If you are already in a state of blood sludge and high cortisol, adding caffeine, a stimulant and a diuretic, before you have hydrated is like trying to force cold honey through a tiny brittle straw. The caffeine narrows the vessels even further and makes the blood even thicker. This is why you see so many stories of people collapsing shortly after their morning coffee. It wasn't the coffee itself, it was the state of the body the coffee was introduced to. So how do we fix this? How do we stop being a statistic? The answer lies in the 3-minute safety buffer. I want you to imagine your body as a vintage car. You wouldn't go out to the driveway in sub-zero temperatures, turn the key, and immediately redline the engine at 70 miles per hour. You would let the oil circulate. You would let the engine warm up. Your body after age 60 requires that same respect. The first step of the buffer happens before you even sit up. When you first wake up, lie on your back and do what I call microcirculation. Stretch your arms above your head. Flex your feet back and forth. This simple act of pedaling your ankles sends a signal to your heart that movement is coming. It starts the process of moving that sludge out of the lower extremities without the massive gravitational pull of standing. The second step is the edge of the bed sit. After you've moved your limbs, move to a seated position on the edge of your bed. Do not stand up yet. Sit there for exactly 60 seconds. This allows your baroreceptors to adjust to the change in gravity. It gives your blood pressure a chance to stabilize at a midpoint between lying and standing. While you are sitting there, I want you to perform the hydration flush. Keep a glass of room temperature water on your nightstand. Drink it right then and there. This water enters your system and begins to thin your blood almost immediately. It reduces the viscosity and provides the volume your heart needs to pump efficiently. The third step is the breathing reset. While sitting on the edge of the bed, take 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, and exhale through your mouth for 6. This activates the vagus nerve, your body's rest and digest system. It acts as a biological brake, preventing that adrenaline surge from becoming a dangerous spike. Only after these 3 minutes should your feet take the full weight of your body. Now, let's look at the hidden risk of the morning that many seniors ignore, the cold. As we age, our internal thermostat becomes less efficient. If you wake up in a cold room and step onto a cold floor, your body undergoes cold-induced vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels snap shut to preserve heat, which drives your blood pressure even higher. For someone with existing heart disease, this sudden cold shock can be the trigger for an event. I recommend keeping a pair of warm slippers and a robe right next to the bed. Never let your body shock into the morning. But I want to dig deeper into the science of why death happens right when you do this. It's not just about the mechanics of standing, it's about the underlying metabolic state. Many seniors are also dealing with undiagnosed sleep apnea. If you have been stopping and starting your breathing all night, your heart has been working under a state of chronic oxygen deprivation for hours. You wake up with an oxygen debt. When you combine that oxygen debt with the blood sludge and the sudden standing, you are placing a demand on the heart that is 200% to 300% higher than its resting state. This is why people who wake up feeling exhausted or with a morning headache need to be 10 times more cautious during their morning routine. We also have to talk about the breakfast trap. Many of us reach for a high-sugar or high-carb breakfast, toast, cereal, fruit juice. These cause a rapid spike in insulin. High insulin, combined with high morning cortisol, is a pro-inflammatory state. It makes your blood stickier and your vessels more prone to spasm. If you want to protect your heart in the morning, your first meal should be focused on arterial ease. Healthy fats like avocado or walnuts, and clean proteins like eggs. These foods provide a slow, steady burn of energy without the inflammatory spike that damages the lining of your arteries. I want to talk about a specific study from the University of Tokyo that looked at over 10,000 adults over the age of 60. They found that those who performed a gradual morning wake-up routine had a 24% lower risk of cardiovascular events over a 5-year period compared to those who rushed. That is a massive return on investment for just 3 minutes of your time. This isn't just lifestyle advice. This is a targeted mechanical intervention for your circulatory system. Let's look at the brain, because stroke is the other side of this morning coin. A stroke is often described as a brain attack. The same blood sludge and pressure spikes that cause heart attacks can cause a vessel in the brain to burst, hemorrhagic stroke, or become blocked, ischemic stroke. Seniors who rush their mornings are often the ones who report morning vertigo or dizziness. That dizziness is your brain's way of screaming that it isn't getting enough oxygen. If you ignore that warning and keep pushing, you are flirting with disaster. By taking that 60 seconds on the edge of the bed, you are ensuring that the blood flow to your brain remains constant and stable. Now, why is this so critical for seniors specifically? Because as we age, we develop something called arterial stiffness. In a young person, the arteries are like rubber bands. They expand and contract with ease to manage pressure. In a senior, the arteries are more like old garden hoses that have been left in the sun. They are brittle and less flexible. When a sudden surge of pressure hits a brittle vessel, something has to give. This is why the morning surge is so much more lethal at 70 than it is at 30. You don't have the buffer of youth anymore. You have to create your own buffer through your habits. I also want to address the psychological component. Many of us use our morning routine to prime our stress levels. We check the news, we look at our bank accounts, we worry about our grandkids. This mental stress translates into physical stress. When you are sitting on the edge of the bed during your 3-minute buffer, I want you to practice mental stillness. Focus on the feeling of your breath. Focus on the temperature of the water you are drinking. By keeping your mind calm, you are keeping your cortisol levels in check. You are preventing the stress spike that contributes to that morning cardiovascular peak. Let's talk about numbers for a moment, because the data doesn't lie. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that the risk of a silent stroke, a stroke that doesn't cause immediate symptoms but leads to memory loss and dementia, is highest in individuals who have a high morning surge in blood pressure. Many seniors think they are just getting a bit forgetful or slowing down as they age. In reality, they may be suffering hundreds of tiny microvascular events every morning because of how they wake up. By fixing your morning, you aren't just protecting your heart. You are protecting your mind. You are protecting your memories. So, here is your longevity morning roadmap. 1. The awake stretch. Move your feet and arms while still lying flat. 2. The slippers and robe. Avoid the cold shock. 3. The hydration buffer. Drink 12 to 16 ounces of room temperature water before doing anything else. 4. The 60-second edge sit. Let your pressure stabilize while you breathe deeply. 5. The arterial ease breakfast. Avoid the sugar and salt bombs. I want to challenge you to do this for just 7 days. Notice how you feel. Do you feel less dizzy? Do you feel more switched on? Do you feel less tight in your chest? These are signs that your cardiovascular system is operating with more efficiency and less stress. I've seen people in their 70s who thought they were on a downward slide reclaim their energy and clarity simply by giving their body the warm-up it deserves. Think about what you have planned for the next 10 years. Do you want to be traveling, Do you want to be playing with your great-grandchildren? Do you want to be pursuing your hobbies? None of those things are possible if your engine fails because you didn't give it 3 minutes to warm up. Your heart has been beating for you for decades. It has performed millions of beats without you ever having to ask. Don't you think it deserves a few minutes of respect in the morning? Before we wrap up, I want to mention one more thing. Many seniors are on blood pressure medication. If you take your medication at 8 a.m. but your morning surge happens at 6:30 a.m., you are unprotected during your most vulnerable window. Talk to your doctor about chronotherapy. Sometimes moving a dose of blood pressure medication to the evening can provide a shield that covers that dangerous morning peak. Again, never change your medication schedule without medical supervision, but use this knowledge to have an empowered conversation with your physician. I also want to address the caffeine question. I know I mentioned coffee earlier. I'm not telling you to give up your morning cup. Coffee contains powerful antioxidants and has been linked to a reduced risk of Parkinson's and type 2 diabetes. But coffee should be your second drink, not your first. Once you have hydrated with water and let your pressure stabilize, your body is much better equipped to handle the stimulant effect of caffeine. It's all about the order of operations. If this video opened your eyes, please hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this is high-quality, science-backed information that needs to reach more seniors who deserve to protect their cognitive and heart health. We are on a mission to change how the world views aging, and your support is how we do that. Support this channel so you never miss a deep dive into the science of longevity. We have upcoming videos on the best silent exercises for circulation, the specific superfoods that repair arterial lining, and how to optimize your vitamin D levels after 60. We are building a library of knowledge designed to help you navigate this stage of life with strength and confidence. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What is your current morning routine? Do you jump out of bed? Do you reach for the coffee first? Have you ever noticed that morning rush of dizziness? I read every single comment, and our community is a place where we all learn from each other. Your story might be the very thing that inspires someone else to make a change that saves their life. We are all in this together, learning to master the art of aging well. Your golden years are a gift. Don't let a simple morning mistake steal them from you. Take care of your heart, protect your brain, and I will see you in the very next video. Take your time getting up tomorrow. You've earned it. Sleep well and wake up even better. Take care of yourself.